Together, we're going to breathe in love. We're going to exhale chaos. We're going to breathe in love. We're going to exhale chaos. We're going to breathe it in and hold it for a second and blow it out like you're cooling soup. Let us take a moment to thank our Native American family for taking care of the ground that we walk on. We're going to thank our ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon.
Yes.
We're going to thank the Holy Spirit for keeping us connected and grounded and reminding us often of who we are. The breath. Let us not forget the breath, the one thing that can't nobody take it away. It's the one thing that we all have in common. The breath. Let us all say, Ashe.
Ashe.
My name is Elrod. Pleasure to meet all of you and be here in this moment and vibe with this energy. And I hope to leave and walk away with some real strong inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm free.
Free.
I'm just very grateful that I noticed that those of us who are gathered here seem to be on the same plane of peace and joy, and my spirit is really good.
Hello, hi, I'm Amber, and I'm here to say what we do. So I have a business, So Far Studio. So yoga instructor, Reiki practitioner, and Sambo practitioner, and everything. So I'm looking to pull out with you all, so for network with everybody. And I'm really excited to take in all of the information that you're listening.
Hi, I'm Anita, everybody. I have a business as well. I also am a business mentor, and I'm excited to learn something new.
Hello, everyone. My name is Simona, and I am excited to be here. I am excited. I'm like my friend Sean. The energy in here is beautiful. I'm excited to learn something new and just to share this space with you all in this moment. I gotta visit people. This ain't that. I'm here for spiritual healing and learning.
Peace, everybody. I got businesses as well. My pops actually invited me out to this, so my side over there, I'm just, like she said, here for the spirit thing. So,
I'm Ashley. I'm just excited to learn something new. That's really what I'm doing.
Hi everyone. I'm Karen from Martina. It's one of my friends, my other friend, and I'm glad to be with her. Hi everyone, I'm Naima.
Hey, girl, I see you right there.
I'm here to support my significant other and to learn what you guys feel.
Okay. I'm Casey. Thank y'all for having me here. I just follow my spirit and get better at it. It's today, so I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Oh, hi everyone, I'm Stacy. I'm here. I have you probably see all your cameras and stuff. I have a radio show, talk show called Welcome to the BBW Show. That's my show. I'm here. I've met Brother Sincere and a few other beautiful faces in here from event one night. So at Ghetto Therapy, and we've all been connected and bonding. And I found out he was having this event, so I'm very grateful for allowing me to come to your space one more time. But that's what we're doing here. The show is live. I hope nobody's offended or anything, but I know that this is something I'm learning to be more a part of and open my mind and get more in touch with my spirit. So I'm grateful to be here. Yeah.
Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Reese. I also have a show called Real Talk with Reese. And I have a company called Love Yourself Production because I'm all about loving yourself. I'm here tonight because I needed this energy and wanted to be around beautiful people and just feel, you know, be uplifted with some good energy. So sometimes energy people need more energy, and that's what I need.
Shalom, everybody. My name is Marie. They call me Decisive on air. I'm the owner of No Static Radio. I have the pleasure of having these two queens on my show every Saturday, Friday and Saturday. And I just appreciate being here. I appreciate being in this space. I appreciate seeing the people here. I feel like this is what the world needs. They need people like us, you know, with our spirits and our mindsets. And it's important, you know, that we spread this. They need to get a piece of this every time, you know, because it's jacked up out here and it's a real big misunderstanding with who we are as a people. And I love that we're here today to represent ourselves, and along with represent ourselves, where we come from and stuff. And more than anything, I know she's gonna be upset that I speak on it, but I want my daughter to get more of this. You know, I want her spirit to be more full. She's going through a transition in life. She just started high school and she don't know nobody. So, you know, I speak to her all the time. I sage her up. You know, we pray up, we meditate, but I want her to learn more. And I feel like sometimes they get it better from other people. Yeah. I want her to take this with her everywhere she goes. So thank y'all for having me here. And I just look forward to this evening we have together.
Hi, my name is Lamont Yarbrough, and this is my daughter-in-law, and my granddaughter back there. I'm just thankful to be here. I'm glad she invited me. I don't know too much how this goes, but the energy in here is just wonderful. I've been a nurse for 30 years and I've been practicing medicine. I want to incorporate this. I have a company, it's called Love and Choice Senior Care, but my belief is I feed your mind, your body, and your spirit, because I can't get you well if I can't work on your mind, if I can't work on your spirit, if I can't work on what's going on with you in your home, I cannot heal you. So I hope to come to these meetings. I hope to gain and learn so I can take it back and continue to heal and continue to grow with the people who I take care of. Because as you all know, there's so many sicknesses out here. And if mentally, if you're not together, you cannot ward off together. So I hope to learn and to continue to learn and to continue to grow spiritually and with my faith. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tiana. I'm here to support you because we've been here. Also let them get us and they're doing a huge job, and also to connect with everybody else here and meet some people and just be around this energy and soak this all up, this love and knowledge. And I brought my little brother.
Hi everybody, how y'all doing?
All right.
My name is Dominique Tate. Everybody call me Donnie. We say what we do, right? I'm an artist. Been doing art professionally for about 3 years now. I'm a chef first, but art is my big passion. And that's what I make most of my money off of. So I'm only out here because my sister told me it was a good idea and a good experience. Never been around this type of energy. So far.
I'll give him some love. Give him some love.
So far,
He gonna say he only here so he don't get fined.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
So,
like 8 years now, and I've not recently, but the last 4 to 5 years now, I've been doing more of this holistic stuff, working with my patients at St. Vincent, RIP St. Vincent.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
right? I was seeing just a robust amount of people coming in with sicknesses, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, and I knew there was some other component we were missing. And so I started actually, believe it or not, in the psych ward where people were the sickest. And after a while, that got kind of just high burnout, and I wanted to get to people before they were so sick. Starting to show them coping strategies in the community so that they can avoid having such a break, collapse in that. So I started with sound modalities, so the sounds. Then I moved on to Reiki. I'm Reiki master now as of June, so that's huge for me.
Yeah.
My daughter was my first student who learned Reiki from me, so I want to teach that in the community. So the benefits of teaching people in the community Reiki so they can do it on their families is just astronomical. I went on to continue to study furthermore something called energy medicine, Eden energy medicine. So I've been on that route now for the last 3 years, and so that's more of a specialty with acupuncture points, traditional Chinese medicine, but at the root of it is a lot of Reiki. But the thing I love about that is when I was finding in the hospitals, people didn't often have Reiki practitioners they can get to. So if you're able to do it on yourself, you can buy into it more, you're more empowered, you could do things for yourself. So I want to show y'all some of that today. Some of the stuff you can do on your own body, your children, your spouses, your mother, to keep yourself mentally well and balanced. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Layla. I make Reiki-infused crystal wrap jewelry, and I'm here to support my mom, and I'm just really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Hey everybody, my name is Ed. I work in the school as an intervention specialist.
Wow.
Ross, and I'm just here to support him.
Okay.
My name is Sir Williams. People call me Ross. My business is Ross Chief. RAS stands for Release All Stress. It's really Rasta. Release All Stress, Tension, Anxiety. I wanted to make a meditation genre because studying other forms of meditation, I saw that we needed to communicate it to our people in a certain way. So I like to study the science of meditation to make it make sense to all ages of us. Because in my background, I know we needed it from a young age. So like my brother Iman said, we in the school systems, we in schools, teaching youth and going around into schools and into programs, basically letting them know the things that we should have definitely knew back then. And a bunch of our peers are alive and out of prison right now. So that's really my main passion, get the meditative knowledge, the science behind it, what it does for our brain and ours.
You got an Instagram, brother?
My Instagram is Rasta, R-A-S-T-A, Chi, C-H-I, _ meditations. Rasta Chi, _ meditations.
Okay, hold on.
I'm Nola. I'm glad to be here. I want to learn more about spirituality and just learning about tapping into my higher self. So I'm glad to be here.
This is Messiah, my son. I'm Azriel. I'm also a Reiki master practitioner, and I like to do art. So looking forward to mingling with everybody after,
I was hoping she was gonna have 2 more minutes to talk. I was like, come on, girl. No. My name is Charlotte, and so I am a native from Ohio, from Cleveland. I relocated to North Carolina, and in relocating from my poor choices and generational curses, I became homeless. And instead of complaining about what goes on in the world, I decided to be a change I wanted to see in the world. So in 2019, I started my nonprofit called Roots Haven for Hope. And I have yet to get money from the government because I'm not gonna have the government tell me how to help and bless me.
You better say that.
So I don't care if you got a man in the house, I don't care if you got 100 kids. I have people purchase the things and then actually donate them to me that way because we all need to be a part of the process of giving. So that way I don't take the money, and since 2019 2017, I've helped over 4,000 families.
All right.
And I'm very, very happy about that. And so, I do motivational speaking because my life was very colorful and I lived my life out loud. So I understand that my story is to be told. So, when I got back to Cleveland, one of my dear friends introduced me to Joy. In the middle of me doing my nonprofit, people like, you so funny, you silly, you crazy, whatever. I've been making people laugh since the 80s, but I deal with depression and I'm a sad, well, I used to be a sad person, so I want everybody to laugh. So in the room full of people, like even when I failed, you saw instead of me taking that embarrassment, I was like, did I fall pretty? Because I failed, honey, it was a hole right there. I was like, oh no. So, so I like people to laugh. You see how y'all laughing? I like people to laugh. So what I started to actually produce my own comedy shows and do my own because nobody wanted to give me an opportunity because nobody knew who I was. And so I take my proceeds, some of them, and I put it towards my nonprofit. And so that's how CJ Star was actually born. So I'm kind of a little different type of comedian because eventually I want people like Puff Daddy, and I'm just saying these names because y'all gonna utilize your coins in the right way. My plan is to have 5,000 scattered homes. I want to purchase enough land where it can be 5,000 scattered homes, and out of the 5,000 scattered homes, 10,000 families can be helped. And that is the goal, and that is the plan, and so I'm utilizing all my talents to get there. So that way I can have the people that are, you know, with their money or whatnot, can help with the mission at hand. Because unless you've washed up in the Burger King bathroom and had to get your child off to school, I mean, if school used to wash his clothes, there's nothing funny about being homeless. And we think being homeless is because you don't know how to utilize your money. But you can be homeless because you have a bad landlord. You can be homeless because you have a child with a mental disability that you are not ready to deal with either. I advocate for that too. And so I just advocate for a lot of things that I have been through. And so I started doing comedy in 2020. I have been blessed so far with my career to skyrocket as far as it have because I wasn't trying. And I think that's the beauty of me not trying. So like in this May, I was at Dave Chappelle's home, and it wasn't to network. God placed me there because I was homeless, and he wanted to show me your environment is changing. I sent you back to Cleveland for a reason. There's something for you to do. I let you do the baby steps in North Carolina, but Cleveland is where you need to be. So I'm happy to say that my nonprofit is now active in Ohio and in North Carolina. And I hope that I'm able to make y'all neighbor rock. And I'm looking forward to networking with all of you. I'm grateful.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joy, and I've done a lot. I'm going to try and shorten my little, bio, but I have a master's degree, and I also have a prison number, federal prison number. So I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do as a child, and one bad decision, 2.5 seconds, made my life turn upside down. I assisted people with taxes and money that they didn't earn, and got them all Schedule C's, and you got a landscaping business, you got a cosmetology business, and just passing out this money to family and friends, and they told the IRS I stole their identity, and I went to federal prison for 2.5 years, Camp Cupcake, Alderson in West Virginia. So, I'm here. Also, I brought this young lady around in this environment. I am her publicist currently, and I'm glad she is sticking with me, and we're doing this thing together. And I'm just glad that here, and although it's about 50-something days to 2023, that we are still here working on the root of the matter, which is our mental health. We always worry about our physical health, but to get to the root of the matter, we have to worry about mental, why we do the things we do. And here, at this point in time, we're here trying to get that together. And, you know, the more we continue to do these type of things, the more this group will grow, and we can heal our young people, because of course we've heard it, hurt people, but we gotta stop it. It's time to gain some generational mental wealth, physical health, and everything accompanied to prosperity and developing our culture, because we need it. We are a dying breed, and I want us to, you know, just collectively heal together, because that's what we all need. You know, I've been in the worst situations in my life, and you know, although it was hard, and you know, a lot of people say, oh, I couldn't have done it. You know, sometimes we need something like that to change our life around and get on a whole different path. So I'm glad to be here with you all and connect and make some good things happen for us and for our generations to come.
Thank you. I'm Yolanda. I'm a nurse as well. I've been homeless 3 times, and I started a little, I don't want to say business, but it's called Lost and Found, my little foundation. I was charging $50 an hour, but it was a calling, and I felt like in my heart, when it's a calling, God was telling me to walk out on faith. So the life is a gift, and I feel like the gifts that he's given me since I was a child, I have to give it to somebody else. So I don't charge for my services. I pay for my own gas. I'm doing this until January, but for some reason I felt him telling me you have to walk out on faith. And you can't charge people, and you know, and they still say, what's your cash app? I don't want donations or anything, because life is so good to me right now. It's so good, like, I'm not even working, and it's better. I went celibate and just changed my whole life around in March of last year in a 6.5 year relationship. He did it for a year, and I'm not gonna have relations with somebody, and I'm not married anymore because, and I made a vow with God. I'm not gonna do it, God, and I'm not gonna break a vow with God because of the gift he's given me. Check to check, like, it's just been crazy good, but sometimes you have to step out on faith. And when I stepped out on faith, it's just like my eyes start opening to people. I mean, I got 22 years at that Metro. Fired as soon as I got over, the only black nurse over in that pediatric department. But I said, just Lord, please let me talk to Dr. Boutros, Dr. Boutros. Lord, no, like 2 days later, I go through the revolving doors. There's Dr. Boutros. I'm talking to him. He sent me over to the diversity. And the man like, oh, I know you from somewhere. It was nothing to do with my case. Got fired. Lo and behold, I'm on Facebook. Dr. Boutros done stole $1.9 million.
Wow.
You can't play with me.
That's right.
You on Facebook. Hey, what's up with you? And woo, woo, woo. I said, I don't play these games. I'm letting you know. I'm waiting for my husband. If that ain't what you want, I'm a child of God, and you will be dealt with. Done deal. No more of them games. I don't play them games with life. As in my reconstruction, and I've never been a bad person. I always wanted to be a housewife. That's all I wanted to be. Nothing in life but to take care of my family. I love helping people. I was raised by a hitman. I know watch people get killed. Walked in on my stepfather and my brother dead. So I've been through things, but you will never know my story unless I feel you need to hear it. So that's the gifts that I have, and I've never needed for anything. Even now, very thrifty. Just, we have to walk out on faith sometimes and accept that God is giving us this here mission. You cannot be afraid. And when I say I walk through life like, hey, I don't fear nothing but God. I don't fear anything. And you know, people, I don't want to go down there. No, it's not because I'm afraid of getting killed. I'm not afraid of that. I don't want to come out, you know, like paralyzed and stuff. I ain't afraid of dying. But my thing is, I just want to, in my spiritual coaching, I just want to pull people out of that comfort zone and let them live the life that they want to live. You have to be happy. And that's the gift that God has for you, but you willing to accept it? Or are you willing to keep on doing what you're doing? Because if you continue doing this, this is what you're going to keep getting. Why not step out and try change? I ain't never, ever been single. God pulled me away from that man. When I say I love him to death, I know that's not the man for me. 6.5 years, you ain't, you know what I'm saying, 2 engagements with you. No, it's not meant to be, but my point is, you have to walk away from people and you have to walk away from things. I was gambling. I said, Lord, 6 months, I'm not going to gamble no more. 6 months came. That next day I'm gambling. 3 months, Lord. Then I was like 30 days, blah, blah, blah. Do not desire. But you have to take baby steps and be willing to go out there and make a change. So the gifts that God has given me to change my life, baby going to school with a full scholarship, other baby over at Benny where he graduated, you know, he was going to Benedict assistant coach, and then the man who built that Pine Crest, walked him to my son just got baptized Sunday. I need to talk to you. I'm going to tell you how doors open up for your children when you change. They will open up for you. Your grandmother's blessings will come to you. It's just like your great-grandmother done got dogged by a man. Your grandmother, your mother, you, and your daughter. Somewhere it's got to stop. And that stopping is going to stop with me. My kids see everything that's changed around me. And my mother said, baby, she was like, you got to stop being nice, but don't change a thing. But I just want, on that note, I just want to end, like, it is just amazing when you stop doing things and stop dealing with certain people. Your God will open your eyes so wide. And you be like, dang, she's using me since you was 13 years old. Dang, he's using me. Dang, I just been, they will mistake your kindness for being a weakness. And if you allow them to do that, because you were born with control of your mind, and that's something can't nobody take away from you. And I'm done.
Thank you.
Do we hear from the young lady?
Oh, from my sister in the back, I was gonna get her. Hey, sis, could you stand up and introduce yourself, please?
My name is Precious. Where am I gonna start? I'm the mother of 9 children, 4 girls, 5 boys. So that means I'm a grandmother of 20, about 16 of my family. I own an Afrocentric boutique in Columbus, Ohio. This weekend, we normally have a pre-Kwanzaa celebration there. I opted out of having it this year, so I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? So Sincere called, he said he was having this event, and so he invited me, and I said, well, let me go check this out. And just I needed to clear my space, my head. I'm always on my phone. My phone is always glued to me, either in my headset or something. And when she was doing the breathing exercises earlier, I was like, whoa, I felt like a weight was lifted off of me. And I turned my phone off. I never turn my phone off. Do I say it? I'm always on my phone. Like, I don't care what's going on. So I just said, let me come and see, what's going on. And I live in Columbus, and I'm thinking to move back to Cleveland for family reasons or whatever. And so I'm here. So, yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing. Okay, appreciate that. I love it when we can come in the same space and we can be ourselves, our authentic selves. Because a lot of times throughout the week, we may live lives or be in situations where we can't be our authentic self. And so it becomes like a self-imprisonment, we put on ourselves, and we can't be ourselves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You understand what I'm saying? So next, how I want to start this, Queen Gwen, and I want to say this too. Yes, let me come around here so everybody can see. All right, thank you. Straight from here. First and foremost, I like to thank these two beautiful black women right here, because without their assistance, without me meeting them and knowing them and them seeing my vision, this would not be possible. And this is only going to be one of many. So I'd like to thank both of them. Queen Gwen here is a phenomenal artist. She's going to show a video, and so we about to get everything started, okay? So kick back and enjoy. Put your thinking caps on, open your mind, relax. So
Some of you might have to move over there. But I want you to know this is a divine setup. So I ain't had nothing to do with this. You ain't had nothing to do with this. Being in the certain places at certain times, you know, it'd be about the divine setup. And I know we're talking about the mental health thing, but we got to get our spiritual health together. The spirit is the one that controls that, okay, and to keep that. And once we get, we got to remember that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And we got to really get to that. We're made in the image of God. Okay, those who worship God must worship Him in spirit and truth. Okay, and once we hang on to that, then we can get the rest. I am a
Just step on up real quick too. So, this is my brother Walter Patton, also my co-worker. Hey, he came up into the building, so I'd like for him to introduce himself and tell y'all about what he do, because a lot of us got connected through his program.
How y'all doing today? Sorry for my tardiness, but it's good to see all of y'all. Continue this process of healing. My name is Walter Patton, the creator of Ghetto Therapy, create Art Nonviolence Youth Initiative. I've been rocking with Sincere for like the last 3 or 4 years. Gwen is like my mama, Sean is like my sister, so it's all a big family in here. It's good to see all of y'all. So, brother Sincere, I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. You inspire me. Let's continue to inspire each other and let's get it going. All right, y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, it's on you, Gwen. Take it.
Oh, wait, I got it. Okay. I wanted to say also, I am a recovering alcoholic and addict, 24 years. I do have 2 penitentiary numbers. And on my second round, I decided I was not coming back.
I know that's right.
When you talk about stepping out on faith, that's what you have to do.
Yes.
So, I know, I wanted to tell y'all about my girl Harriet Tubman. You see her hanging up in there. Harriet Tubman, right there. Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. Those are the ones that really guide me and stuff. So I'm in prison, and it dawned on me. I'm having the second number. I'm having a bunch of aha moments. Okay. So I've always loved Harriet Tubman. Always loved Harriet Tubman. So to me, I want y'all to excuse my friends. Put the close the ears. But anyway, it just dawned on me. Harriet Tubman said, "Fuck this slavery shit. I'm out." You know, come the light of the moon, I'm out. And that's what she did. But she walked up out of her condition. She literally walked up out of her condition. 24 years ago, I walked up out of my condition. I ain't been back. I ain't had a drink since. My daughter's 57 years old, and half of her life I was getting drunk. Half of her life. My granddaughter who's back there has never seen me take a drink. Okay?
Amen.
I walked up out of my condition. And that's what we have to do. Walk, get a made up mind. And walk up out of your condition. I don't care what it is. We them kind of people though. Yeah. We them kind of people. Our people, even when they come from Africa, those who jumped ship and took to the ocean, they was like, I ain't going over there.
It's a choice.
That's why they started chaining us down. But now they got our minds chained. And we got to break that chain.
That's right.
I got Muhammad Ali up there because he reminds me, Muhammad Ali said he was the greatest, but he was talking to himself. Yeah. He was talking to himself. He was born in 1935, Louisville, Kentucky, that time in America.
Yes.
He had to tell himself,
Yep.
I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest.
Let him know, too.
You know, if I keep saying it long enough, you're going to believe it too. Okay? And he fought the government and won.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay? Malcolm X learned every word. He took his 7 years, learned every word in the dictionary.
That's right.
When he come out here, they had to kill him. That's why they don't talk about him now. They can't stand it because he talked about it. Calder. You know, if you go down to 22nd and Cedar, you'll see 22nd and Cedar down by the old juvenile detention center. You'll see a mural down there. I was lead artist on that mural. I called out racism.
You better.
On the bridge, the bridge.
Yes.
This, I don't know, Walt and I belong to Central Promise Ambassadors. They had some of us come and make a video of some of the work that we were doing that they had gave us grants to and how we help people and stuff. I made this video and I end up, now they're using my video this year for one-time use. I sold this 3-minute video for $2,500. They are teaching people in foundations about the use of language and mindset. Artists don't do shit, my mom would tell me. Her mantra was, you're gonna be somebody. So don't let me keep catching you with that art nonsense. Because I was a smart kid, Mom encouraged that side of me. Some of her Christmas gifts to me were a Rand McNally atlas, a typewriter, a microscope, even a chemistry set. But my sister Kathy, who was 17 years older and was herself an artist, bought me Venus Paradise coloring sets, my first oil pastels, and an airbrush. At her house, I can make art. At home, I hid my art tools in shoe boxes and Maxwell House coffee cans under the bed. I drew on everything, on my homework. I drew Bugs Bunny across the top and down the margins. I even drew on the walls. Art was my hiding place, my escape from the sexual abuse I experienced as a youth. I came from a family who worked during the week, drank on the weekends, church on Sunday, and Monday it started all over again. That was their norm. And when I left home at 17, their norm became my norm. I added the drugs to my equation, and over time things got worse. Crack cocaine took me down hard and fast. It took me to places I never dreamed of, homelessness and eventually incarceration. I had forgotten. No, I had buried in the closets of my soul, my mind, my heart, who I really was. But time threw out a prayer for me, incarceration. Let it be known that the only thing that I liked about the carceral system was it afforded me the opportunity to get with Gwendolyn Garth. Because I did not have to worry about food, clothing, or shelter for 2 years, I was able to rigorously study Gwendolyn Garth, much like a scientist does on a field study. I was able to walk inside myself, dissecting and analyzing my thoughts and actions. Creating art and journaling became my new norm and my way out and through my darkness. I now have 23 years of uninterrupted sobriety, and I have given myself permission to be an artist. Once when I shared my story at an event, a young lady came up to me and asked if she could give me a ride home, and we talked at my house until wee hours of the morning. She is an artist and now has over 11 years of sobriety. Art is the name of my game. Art is in the middle of my last name. Art is in the middle of me, and I have no plan B. Wherever I go, art goes with me. This one's for you, Mama. Thank you. And that's all we need, is the love. And I feel it in this room. And I'm telling you, at 71 years of age, 71 years old, I am
free.
It does my heart good.
Mm-hmm.
To see my people
Yes.
trying to do something positive. We all hear, all the time we're hearing about the negative.
Mm-hmm.
But if they, where the cameras at now? Where Channel 3 at now?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know, Captain are trying to do something. I know that it just makes my shoulders lighter. Because now I don't feel, you know, a lot of this weight we carry is the heaviness of being in America. This ain't our home. We're passing through. You know, we got to stand up for us and who we are. We descendants of kings and queens. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. I wear a butterfly on my cap, a big ass butterfly.
Okay.
Because of the transformation and to remind me to hold my head up so my crown won't fall off.
Okay.
We got to hold our head up. I don't care what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
We got to keep our heads up. You know, we've been down too long. We can't save everybody, but look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Mm-hmm.
This is a powerful thing, and we got to remember this is what they don't want. The master narrative is all about. They don't want to see us like this, united, trying to come together. That's why they break up the boys on the corner. They figure they doing something, you know. That's the thing. But I wanna. My daughter is finally. We're doing some healing, hell of a lot of healing. She finally come and help Mama, cause she said, I ain't an artist, I ain't an but she an art lover. She's one of my most greatest fans, and she, you know, she just love my work. I ain't got to worry about when I leave who's gonna get my work.
Yeah.
But she gonna grab it. She gonna grab it and stuff like that. This young lady here, they all grew up in my house once here and there. I had a house with this big tree around, and I had this car, which is Raggedy Muffler, and they would know when I'm coming down the street. So everybody on the outside of the house by the tree, I said, yeah, it looks like a party going on up in here, but you know, I'm glad that they get to see me, the other side of me, yeah. So,
You saw it then too.
huh.
You can't hide it. You know what I'm saying? You are gonna be you no matter what you do. No matter what, you're still gonna be that same person that everybody loves. You're still gonna be Gwendolyn Garth. You are not gonna be nothing other than that. And those things that you do are what made you what you are.
Right, because there's Eric Erickson does he's a psychologist, and he does a thing called the stages of adult development. Y'all can look him up, and he got these different stages of different age groups and stuff. And at my age group, he asked an existential question: is it okay to have been me? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just want to add to what you said. When you was having your moment and you was trying to like build up your word, or what you was doing, the only thing I saw was that's what we call freedom, for real.
I was trying not to cry.
Right. I'm saying though, but when you say that the weight is lifted off of you and you are expressing yourself completely and being who you are by nature, like the brother said, we get a chance to like take off the outer face mask that we wear in society and not be fake. You're free.
Right.
So that's a word. That
Well,
you
there's also that I know that there's the posse here. You see what I'm saying? So I done did the 71. I done did the a path. Okay, it's y'all turn. Okay. So the elders are supposed to tell you, oh, that rock is loose. Don't step there. Okay. So I know where the loose rock at. Okay. And we have to respect that, whether we hear it now or tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, sometimes you ain't gonna always understand it. You know, them euphemisms and stuff we used to use back in the day, like My mother used to talk about quit acting like a flockhouse bluesy. I was like, what the hell is a flockhouse bluesy? You know, things like that. But this makes it does make me feel much like, because I know the policy here. You know, y'all come, it's the more behind me coming up, you know, I feel like I got to say the world by myself.
I know that's
They
right.
go to policy. Yeah.
All right. Peace, everybody. Peace again. All right. So, we're about to get into the nuts and bolts. But first, understanding that laughter opens up the heart chakra. When you laugh, whenever you laugh, that's why laughter improves health. When you laugh, it opens up the heart chakra. And another thing, though, to be careful of is people know that laughing opens up the heart chakra. And what happens when you open up your heart chakra, you become hyper receptive to all forms of information, negative and positive. That's why they say, oh, you know, you got people that say things in jest, joking, but they got some venom in there, and you'll feel it. Because they laugh, and you open your heart chakra up, and that information is slid into your subconscious. You see what I'm saying? And so, the information that we about to receive, I want everybody to be receptive, so we gonna start with some comedic therapy.
All right.
I named it that. She don't call what she, you know, she didn't say I got it, but comedic therapy. Everybody welcome up CJ Starr.
Woo! Hey, what's up, y'all, right? So I'm gonna stand right here. So that way I don't have all this pancake face. So I'm like that, right? Okay, so let me tell y'all, this is my first time doing a woke event, right? And I'm gonna say woke because I have been asleep. I'm 42. So I had girl, okay, that's that Noxzema, baby. So I have been asleep for a long time. And I went to John Hay High School, class of 98.
Okay.
And I had a young man that was woke that I went to school with, right? But he was always angry, like, like, you want to get some salt? He's like, no, because the salt is in a white packet and the white man is salt. And I don't like the salt. And I'm like, damn, I'm just talking about salt. He was like, but you don't understand. I'm angry, right? I'm like, he wearing this chain around his neck. So this nigga crazy, but see, he understood something that I didn't understand. So forever, I was like, today was hard for me to prep for. Let me be honest with y'all. Okay? Because I said, damn, if I wear one of my wigs, am I not woke? I don't even make y'all laugh, but still give some informal. Is that all right?
Yeah,
That's just like what I like to do. All right. So I said, when they talk about me, if I don't have on, if I don't wear my locks, and I said, well, forget it. I'm going to just go ahead and do it. And let me tell you why I said it, because when he walked in, he the reason why. I put him on spot, right? He said, I go to ghetto therapy, if y'all couldn't tell. And I came in one day without my hair on, so I just got to work outside. He was like, peace, queen. I didn't know that was underneath that hat. Well, sir, I wear two hats. I'm double insulated. I moved back to Cleveland. I wear a wig, and I wear this kind of hat, right? But I live in an LBT lifestyle. See, I'm very open and transparent about who I am. But that LBT lifestyle saved me from things that I witnessed and went through as a child, right? So to know me and know my story, it's just not all about, you know, so I like to make you laugh, but then I like to give you some, you know. That's why I said I ain't like some of them comments say, get up and want to tell jokes and make fun of you. No, I want to make you laugh, but then hear what I got to say. So I want to say I appreciate you.
Well, at least tell him I ain't saying like
No,
that.
he didn't. I was waiting. See, that's an alpha man right there. See, I'm usually normally the alpha woman, right? So I'm learning how to be subdued. Because I know my king coming. My child grown now. Oh, yeah. So now it's time for me to get back on the saddle. Not now. I'm not taking applications for peniles just yet. Not yet, baby, okay? Not yet, okay? I'm still learning how to be a lady. Okay. So I just want to say thank you for letting me know that I look decent, because being woke, as we call it, I didn't think I looked right without European hair.
So I was like, dang, okay then. So y'all know this COVID era was nasty. We know they put that bacteria in the air. We know what they did. Yeah. But how many of y'all be on y'all Facebook? I know I do. And you get that message, Grand Rising Queen. I said, well, damn, am I cooking biscuits? What's the rise? Right? But we're not used to being talked to that way. So some of these men are starting to get hip. They trying to be like little baby, they trying to be like sincere, they trying to be like him, but they really don't mean it. Some of them be like, what's up, queen? You know he calling you an itch. I said, oh, make me a little nervous and whatnot, right? So after about 400 or 500 Grand Rising queens, I was like, I'm trying to be, you know, because the baby right there, because really I got a vulgar mouth. I'm really nasty. And so, I said, well, after the 500 Grand Rising Queen, he is persistent. And this is my season for the fruit basket of the bananas. So I'm going to see what he's talking about, okay? So, there's something, oh, okay. Oh, girl, that feather was attached to this little flat towel.
Stop playing. You got a little hump.
And then a little hump, That's all right. So I said, well, you know, I am part of that ABCDEF3, but I want to do something a little different. So I'm like, what's going on with you? So he go ahead and come on over because he ain't had no driver's license. But I support my black brothers. Right. So I said, after we pick you up, you give me some chicken. I don't know about y'all, but I like me some chicken wings. I ain't saying I was gonna do the thing for the chicken wing, but what I'm saying is, I might, if the price is right for the chicken wing. So, it was that moment that we all waited for, right? And I'm like, let me go ahead in the bathroom and do the He dropped that wallet on the floor and I was like, oh. My brother raised me partially. She said, you gotta get, yeah, because I had a rough life, partially, when she got tired of me being in medicine bomb. She said, let me just go on and grab her, because I'm looking like a ratchet grandma. Yeah, see that true in the jungle? And so, I picked it up, and it was gold. I gotta do one adult joke, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do it nicely and the best of my ability. So, baby, don't worry about it. We all know what Magnum represents, right? Yeah. So I was like, it's been a while, at last, my love has come along. Okay. I'm like, yes, baby, let me get to it, nothing to do it. I come outside, he turned around like this, like a superhero. Standing there all proud, like, I said, oh no. Oh no. See, we have hurt a lot of our kings by telling them the truth. But we have hurt a lot of us when we don't be with them, but we should have told them the truth. Baby, it was room on the left side of it. It was room on the right side of it. It was room at the bottom of it. I was like, oh, you not from Amistad. Is that all right? No Wakanda for you, baby. Okay. So I did what we mostly do. I gave away donation kuwa that night. I had felt sorry for the brother. So I said, so that I don't have to always just do, we got to do the work when we squinch tight. Y'all know what that means.
Yeah.
You got to be like, so I asked him, could he put his testicles in the condom so that way it would work shut. Oh, he did it! And we put a rubber band at the end of it. Oh, no! And it was wonderful! Okay? But next time I'm going to keep Durexes in my drawer. Because they need to know the truth. Okay? And as I end this, now that's some European stuff I might have in my house. Is that all right? So I'm going to end with this because I enjoy how y'all laugh and I enjoy how y'all receiving me, right? Some of y'all like, I want to see you in another environment, and I'm vulgar and the mother sucker walking. Is that okay? Yeah. but I appreciate that, baby, because I am open for booking. I will come to your cousin's bar mitzvah party. I take EBIT. I take WIC payments. I'm gonna say it again, I take EBIT. Okay? Because I love the chicken. I just told y'all I'm a chicken connoisseur. It's like all I'm gonna do is go to KFC and some flowers like Green Queen. I'm like, you ain't got no Magnum, do you? What we doing? All right, so I am part of, I started my own acronyms. It's called LBLT. And that's what I want to leave y'all with. LBLT. Long belly and long titties is taking over. And sometimes I'm crying because I'm emotional, and I take my breast and I wipe my face. I don't need no tissue. And then if I am dating somebody, they can take their beard and rest it right here. I need for y'all to appreciate y'all bodies because God gave them to us. I love them women because they like, I am who I am, honey, and I'm not about to do all of that, okay? So whoever end up marrying me, know I got a flat booty and I'm not getting nothing put in it, okay? Okay.
Well, all right then.
Give her another round of applause. See, because y'all know when we talk about this woke or conscious thing or whatever, I don't even like them terms. You know what I'm saying? Woke just means you just woke up and you get put back to sleep. See what I'm saying? Consciousness means that you aware, you know? And we're a mix of all of that. Man, we're a mix of all of that. Some days you up, some days you down. You get parts to yourself that you know, you may not want to get rid of yet. Man, there's nothing wrong with that. Because what happens sometimes is we put ourselves inside of this box. We have a perception, but we look at ourselves through the lens of other people. And when you compare and contrast, you'll always feel bad about this. You'll always find something to be like, oh, woe is me, oh man. You know, so it's good that we show both sides of ourselves. You know, so a person know how we coming. Like, I wasn't always brother sincere teach, you know? And I still got some ways about myself that I'm working on. You feel me? But I don't want a person to be like, oh, the good brother that went and said that, then went and did that. Because you never know the backstory. You see what I'm saying? And all of us got a backstory. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to keep this thing rolling. This brother that I'm about to introduce, I've known him for several years now. And he's been consistent with everything that he does in the area and aspects of healing. Very good brother, very intelligent brother, very knowledgeable brother in what he talks about and teaches. Everybody give a round of applause for the brother, Sir William, Rise Cheese Meditation.
I'm big on acronyms, so the RAS, release all stress. CHI is connecting heavenly energy. So, the first thing, something that came to me the other day while I was meditating is we always see the signs, the one way, the stop sign, the yield sign, and all that. But it's like looking for those signs, those balloons, those teddy bears, somebody who got shot as we driving and all that type of stuff. Like really paying attention to those type of signs. And just shout out to all y'all, because y'all all hands on deck to help make a change in that department of what we know is going on in our community. So I respect that very highly. So with the meditation portion, that's part of what I aim for, to reach the youth, the young boys and the young ladies around, you know, basically energy cultivation. You know, everybody was on edge growing up. So I'm trying to make it more toward being on edge of the inner praise, or being on the edge of like feeling good on the inside. And I know that takes a whole bunch of work, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I made up the genre as a practice. So basically, let's challenge ourselves to continue the positive affirmation. So if we could close our eyes and deep breathe and induce some type of powerful, strong affirmation, while we take the deepest breaths as possible in the nose, out the mouth. relation to yourself, around your goal. About 30 more seconds. It's basically called mental self-programming. Your cells know that you won't lie to yourself. You don't walk around and just tell yourself lies, right? You tell yourself out there, right? Your cells know that whatever you repeat to yourself, they listen. So your cells know whatever he or she is saying to you, it's not about to be no lie in there. You know what I'm saying? There got to be something solid about that. So when we're repeating ourselves over and over again, our cellular system picks up on it. And specifically something, it was ironic, the genre is called ROS, and we got something at the top of our spinal cord and the base of our brain called the ROS, reticular activating system. So that's what's literally in charge of taking what we believe, what we tell ourselves, what we're thinking on a consistent basis. If you want something, if you want a type of person in your life, you always saying that, you always talking that out your mouth. Next thing you know, it happened just like that. That's the part of your brain, the ROS, reticular activating system, at the top of the spinal cord, base of the brain. It's right next to the third eye that we always see in the ancient Kemet picture. It's right in that area right there. I was wondering why they don't point that out, you know what I'm saying? That being so important with manifestation. But that's something that we're stimulating with the deeper breaths. We're growing that gray matter, and that's the whole area the gray matter is in. So we'll see more manifestations. We'll see more emotional stability, emotional control, and deeper thoughts. We are all very deep thinking people. I know my people. So, you know, imagine that even amplifying more. So I want to get into the long, deep breaths of what grows the gray matter, which amplifies our consciousness and emotional stability. It's a technique in Raj Chi where we're counting our breaths. So we don't have to be in meditative position. We don't have to always be sitting Indian style. We literally can do whatever we are doing during our day. It's challenge ourselves to count how many seconds we can breathe in for. And this is stimulating growth in that gray matter once you do it for 2 months straight. So I felt the difference and started inventing more things, and I literally felt like I traveled through time. But y'all have your own experience when you take the longest, deepest breaths as possible every day, but it's a real challenge. So, all right. Let's see if we can start that. We're breathing in our nose. Possible in. Higher and higher numbers, how many seconds we can breathe in for. So real quickly, not only does this grow that part of your brain, the gray matter, it also helps with when we spaz out on people, because we cool around great people, but it's like some other type of people, you know what I'm saying, who got certain ways that can make you spaz and whatnot. I definitely realized that once doing these long, deep breaths all the time, whenever a situation like that occurred, my body would end up taking a deep breath for me. So like basically the spaz rate, the risk of going to prison rate, percentage drops a bit. And that's what, you know what I'm saying, a good thing. I'm able to think more in a logical sense in those moments when you're being really tested. You know, you're still gonna be how you are or whatever, but it's like the percentage rate of making that be sporadic and uncontrollable, you know what I'm saying, really drops. So that's something we should definitely pass on to the youth like crazy, I feel like. But another part is inducing the inner joy. It's one of my favorite ones. It basically helped build my spirit, like Sister Gwendolyn alluded to, you know what I'm saying, mental health and spiritual health. So inducing the inner joy, inner celebration like crazy, like turning on a light switch, basically super inner praise out in the middle of nowhere, like any time of the day, inducing the inner praise. So let's see if we can take a few deep breaths and just inner celebrating within, whatever that looks like to you, inner celebrating, fist pumping, jumping up and down, screaming, shouting, hear yourself scream, shout, whatever you would do if you was just run $1 million or something. Let's see how we feel afterwards. See if we can celebrate twice as much, feel twice as much as that inner joy about whatever, even if it's something minute. Let's see if we can get something to celebrate about, even if it's something real minute. And what I notice is this creates some energy momentum. Like basically how I would tell a child, all right, if you cry, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. So it seems like the universe, the creator, the Most High is like seeing that, oh, you want to celebrate, I'll give you more things to celebrate about. So it's basically been feeling like energy momentum. Like even if I'm pointing out the most minute thing to turn up and celebrate within my spirit about, it's like more and more great things begin to unravel in front of me to and to celebrate about. So I feel like that was something great that I learned in the journey. The last point, the calm feeling that we feel when we're meditating, that melatonin, that's the melatonin being activated. The melatonin is a pregame to making neuromelanin. So that's all in that same area that they show you with that inner eye in the ancient Egyptian pictures with the mind's eye. That whole section, a part of it is a neuromelanin, and that has a whole bunch to do with consciousness. And so neuromelanin is the pre-creator of dopamine, so it's all connected. So like I think Brother Sincere passed out a piece of paper. If y'all want to write down neuromelanin, do a little bit of research on neuromelanin, and it's connected with dopamine. So when we're inducing these inner joy feelings throughout the day, we're evolving our neuromelanin. So I thought that was real cool. Neuromelanin. Another word for it is substantia nigra. But yeah, so inducing those inner celebration feelings is an amazing thing, and it feels like it boosted my spirit up, so that when I'm presented with a situation that could easily mess with my vibe, I'm already boosted up ahead of time, so I got more like Army Reserve, I got more ammunition to not let that damage my cells, because stress and any other word you use for stress damages our cellular system, and that's why I say called this aging, because there's headaches and all that type of stuff, so it's anti-aging to induce these feelings. So thank y'all for listening to Ras Chi. I got some wristbands for y'all in the back. Feel free to take your green wristbands. I got my YouTube channel on it.
Okay.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Say congratulations to him. We've been knowing each other. My organization is 8 years old, and it seems like we disappeared from each other. But he's been in every gallery space I've had. He always wanted to invite. And he's been keeping on doing what he was doing. I'm keeping on doing what I was doing. You know, what I'm doing. So Yeah, we always come back together, yeah.
Okay, that's peace, that's peace. Get sir, another round of applause. Please. Hey, so how everybody feeling? Everybody feeling good still?
Yes.
Okay. Look, cause I don't need nobody sleep in my classroom, right? Yeah, I'm gonna throw something at you if I catch you sleeping. Okay? I'm just letting you know.
You better do it early in the morning, then.
And then come on, my Erica Badu mind state. Keep in mind I'm an artist and I'm serious about mine. Okay? Yeah, but I'm definitely enjoying this energy here, right? Definitely enjoying it. I don't know if anybody seen this post, right? But I found it interesting. It was a post on Instagram about 2-3 months ago. And it was saying how many people it took for you to get here. And so I went and did some research, right? And that's how you know everybody here has a purpose. It took every one of us at least 1,048,576 ancestors to get here in your lineage. Let me say that again, because y'all ain't. 1 million, let's just leave it at that. It took 1 million people to have to meet for you to get here. 1 million people to meet for you to get here. 1 million, 1 billion. And you see it's actually a whole nother 50,000 at the end of that. But just to think about that, that situations and circumstances had to come together for this whole line of people to meet in order to bring you here. That's deep, ain't it? Yeah. Really show you that when you have people that's living what they think is a purposeless life, that your life should be purposeful, full of purpose, not less purpose. And with that in mind, I'm gonna start with some, pardon me. Is anybody in here older than 70? Okay. This is the tradition and the custom of our ancestors, is that whenever there's an elder in the room, you ask them for permission to speak. So may I have permission to speak?
Yeah.
Thank you. And with that said, we're going to get some libations and some honors to our ancestors. Okay? I have a list of some in particular. I'm going to conclude the list, and everybody is going to join in. If nobody has done this before, man, when I pull, so I'm going to say a name, and as I pour, everybody going to say Ashe. Ashe?
Ashe.
Okay. Sada Shakur.
Ashe.
Afeni Shakur.
Ashe.
Queen Ya Santawa.
Ashe.
Queen Nzinga.
Ashe.
Harriet Tubman.
Ashe.
Steve Biko.
Ashe.
Jomo Kenyatta.
Ashe.
Patrice Lumumba.
Ashe.
Kwame Nkrumah.
Ashe.
El Haj Malik El Shabazz.
Ashe.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Ashe.
The Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Ashe.
George Jackson.
Ashe.
Jonathan Jackson.
Ashe.
Huey P. Newton.
Ashe.
Fred Hampton.
Ashe.
Bobby Seale.
Ashe.
Maya Angelou.
Ashe.
Gil Scott Heron.
Ashe.
Richard Pryor.
Ashe.
Master Teacher Dick Gregory.
Ashe.
My grandmothers.
Ashe.
Miss Sweet, Betty Walker, Joan Walker. My grandfathers, Alton Walker, Hansel Watson, Uncle Johnny. And it's something about this. Look, check this out. So my great-great-grandparents, right, they were greats. They had moved to Detroit, Michigan, in a project called Hamtramck. Well, it's the projects now. It wasn't back then. And they ran an after-hours spot. And they called my grandmother, my great-grandmother, who was the wife of my grandfather, Uncle Johnny. They called her Miss Sweets. And she bought ice cream for the whole neighborhood every time the ice cream truck pulled up. And they called my grandfather, well, my great-grandfather, Uncle Johnny, because he came from a time down south to where they didn't like to recognize black men as being misters or fathers, so they all called him uncle. That's why we got Uncle Ben's Rice, and you got Aunt Jemima Syrup, because they didn't want to recognize a black woman as a mother or anything like that, so they say call her auntie. That's why in certain places down south, black women won't let you call them auntie. They'll flip on you for that. So they called my grandfather Uncle Johnny. And when he came up here, that name kind of just stuck, and everybody knew him as Uncle Johnny. Pardon me. I kind of ran out of room here, but we're going to keep on going. Dr. Sabi.
Ashe.
Layla Africa.
Ashe.
Cicely Tyson.
Ashe.
Okay, now everybody just call out a name.
What's
Ashe.
Marie.
Ashe.
Kyrie Irving.
Ashe. Kyrie Irving ain't
Yes.
dead.
No, oh, I didn't know what he was doing there.
Vitality in life. You know? Okay, keep on calling them out.
Yeah, James Thompson.
Ashe. Oh yeah, definitely the sister Mesco. Call out a few more.
Christine Thomas.
Ashe.
Very dark.
Ashe.
Eddie Mae Spates.
Ashe.
Rosalie.
Ashe. And all of the ancestors that we missed because our bowl got full here. So Ashe.
Ashe.
And I'm going to remove this real quick because I don't want to knock it over. Okay. Okay, so here we sit right here. I had a plan, but I forgot it, so we had to improvise. You know, that's what we do. So, let me move up here, because I like to move around. Hold any questions to the end, okay? I'm going to do a Q&A at the end for anybody any questions. So that's why I passed out a pen to everybody and a pamphlet. So take notes, write your questions down, okay? How many people here know about Kemet? Exactly. Kemet. Okay, right. So, we don't know that ancient Egypt was called Kemet for a reason, right? Because certain people don't want you to trace back your roots. You can learn the roots of a thing when you know the proper name of a thing. So originally, Egypt comes from a Greek word, Egyptos. Lands were named and renamed after people conquered them. And when people conquered them, they then infused their culture. And the more that certain lands were conquered, one after another by different cultures, the original culture gets watered down. Things get changed, misconstrued, stolen, destroyed. And that's what happened with our history, with our culture, okay? So now, bringing us to present day, Kemet, K-H-E-M-I-T, or K-E-M-E-T, or sometimes the M part of it is interchangeable.
Can you spell that again?
Kemet, K-E-M-I-T, or K-E-M-E-T, or K-H-E-M-I-T. And if you look at this word, this is where we get the words chemical from, chemistry, alchemy. All of these words come from the name of this land. Chem means black, or dark, or soil, or land. So Kemet was the land of the dark soil or the dark soil complexion people. And we created chemistry. Chemistry was our science and our technology, our spiritual technology. That's how pyramids were built. And what people don't know, pyramids was child's play. That's what they did as a hobby. That's what our ancestors did to kill time. To show you where they was at spiritually, what they was doing to kill time. And even to this day, with all of the so-called other technology, they cannot duplicate a pyramid. What you see on top is the same up under the ground. A pyramid is actually a diamond. It's like this on top, but then it goes like this underneath. It's a diamond. In the same way it's built on top of the sand is the same way it's built at the bottom, a mirror image. But they have you believe, and let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. This book is by an illustrious scholar, master teacher, John Henry Clark. He's one of my idols. This book is no longer in print. I actually brought this home from the penitentiary. A good friend of mine named Zulu Dumasami gave it to me. This book is probably 80 years old. John Henry Clark was a master teacher. His parents were sharecroppers of the slave sort. And he managed to come up out of all of that to where he started and ignited the Harlem Renaissance of black intellectuals. So there would not be a Drusilla Dungy, a Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, a Dr. Yosef Ben Yakanan, or any of the names of these scholars that we know about if it wasn't first Master Teacher John Henry Clark. He ended up, when he transitioned, shortly before he transitioned, he was Professor Emeritus at NYU. Anybody knows what emeritus means? It means that he knows so much about a particular subject that he can walk inside of that school whenever he wants to and take over any class in the sphere of his knowledge. So in any history class, he could walk up in NYU and walk right in there. Ain't been there for 3 years, walk right up in there and say, hey, man, sit down for a minute. Let me address the students. Because of the things that he accomplished. So I like to debunk myths before I go forward, talking about our culture. And sometimes what we have to do is we have to put all emotions to the side to receive truth. Yeah. We can't be emotionally attached to certain narratives. Because we get comfortable and we get attached to those narratives, and a lot of those narratives can be misleading. See, sometimes there's a truth, but then there's an accurate truth. You see, because some facts are made in a factory. So you can't always deal with facts. Some facts is fabricated. Some facts is made. And some people believe if you can get a group of people to believe on a certain thing, then that make it fact. That ain't so. So I like to share something. And I quote things straight from the teachers or the individuals in this book. Some of these things I don't particularly agree with. However, this is based on their understanding. So don't be offended by any material or anything that I read, because we must remember that it's the person's narrative based on their study and whatever they pulled away from it, and you do the same. You know, I'm a vegan, so I don't say eat the meat, throw away the bones. I say eat the fruit, throw away the twigs. Ashe? Ashe. So the brother John Henry Clark goes on to say, the Bible in general is a Jewish survival book and a very good one. And the Jewish people in general are people who invented themselves and did a very good job of it. Now keep in mind, this book is over 80 years old. When you invent yourself, you invent a whole lot of nice things about yourself. You've got privileges. You give yourself victories in wars that didn't even occur. What's there to prevent you from doing so? You let the sea open up and let you go across. And why not? You've got nothing but your imagination. There's nothing to prevent you from it. And yet, there is no man alive. This might break your heart now. There is no man alive who can give me one iota of positive proof that the Exodus actually occurred. I told my students that if you prove to me that Exodus actually occurred, I give them 1 month of my salary. Nobody proved it. But you see, they were studying the Bible. They went to the Bible again and again and again. I knew where they were going to go. They are never going to find it there. But then, when it was all over, I said, this is where I trapped you. I studied the period on this side of the river. I studied the pure history on this side of the river. And the pure history has no record of anybody departing in that number at that time. Then I go on the other side of the river, and I see if there is any record of anybody arriving at this time. No record. Then I search the military history of Egypt. Is there any record of any Pharaoh's army being drowned? No record. Then I searched the records and found that was one of the finest record-keeping periods in Egyptian history, because this was the Ramses period. And if Ramses had a pimple on his behind, they made a record of it. And if he made a record of one pimple on his behind, 600,000 people can't leave a country without them also making a record of that. If he stumped his toe on his way through the garden to see his wife Nefertari, then there is a record of it. He was delayed in meeting his wife because he stumped his toe and fell against a tree, and his guards picked him up, embraced him, and set him down. He rested a while, and they brought him cool water to drink, and he was on his way back to see his beloved Nefertari. He recorded that. And besides, And besides, there was a 16-mile land bridge connecting Egypt with Western Asia. The Hebrews did walk into Africa, and they could walk out. Nobody needed to go by sea. Now, I'll admit that the story of the Exodus is a beautiful one. It's wonderful. Cecil B. DeMille made so much money, his grandchildren won't even finish spending it. Charleston Heston did nicely too. For anybody that's young, that was the movie Exodus that they showed on TV with the whole white cast, okay? Then it goes on to say, he probably got money, Charleston Heston did nicely too. He probably got money playing Moses, wrongly, and the true story of Moses won't be told until black people start making movies. I'll stop right there.
Ashe.
When we get into the nuts and bolts, the word religion. This is very good grape juice, everybody. This comes from Jewish people. It's called Kedem. It's the best grape juice that you can drink. And I've been drinking for a while. I like it a lot. And it's very healthy for you. The word religion. Re means to go back, R-E. Whenever you see R-E at the beginning of something, it means go back. The latter part of that word is legion, which comes from the Latin root word legios. The Latin root word legios means to link. So the essence of the definition of religion is to relink. So one would say, relink to what? Relink to the source of the knowledge of ourselves. So if we take Judaism, Islam, and Christianity as we know it today, and you read stories about Egypt or Africa in these books is downplayed. But now we dig into the history, talk about the brother Moses. Moses is not even a full name. That's a partial name. See, they knocked off the front part so you wouldn't study it. Thutmoses was a common name back then. You'll find a lot of names back then having Moses at the end of it. There was a lot of people named Thutmoses, but they took the Thut off of there because they knew that if they left the Thutmoses on there, you know where to go search for the whole history. So they took the Thut off there. Just got Moses. Moses came into Egypt. Why was he taken to Egypt? Because the king had declared what? To kill all the firstborn male children. And his mother feared for his life. So when a mother fears for her firstborn's life, she's not going to take him somewhere where she's not sure he's going to be okay. So he ended up somewhere where he would be okay by design. It was raised in the house of Pharaoh, which is not even their names. Pharaoh is a Greek term, and it means one who has a lot of money or one who has great walled palaces. But we don't know this because we don't go study. We read it, our grandparents told us, that's all we need to know. But Pharaoh wasn't even the term. Because the person would say, well, what they was building with. And I remember as a kid seeing these books with narratives of this story in there. And it showed these people dragging hay in mud in a non-pyramid block made of hay or mud. It would take sophisticated intelligence in the area or the science of masonry to produce. Let me go into this. Tekken, meaning iron fist, iron is in our blood. So we're talking about blood. Then we talk about a fist. And because I'm into the science of mudras, right? A fist is a mudra. This is a mudra that's used for circulating blood. That's why when you go get your blood drawn, they tell you to do what? They tell you to do a mudra because they got the science. You don't. You see, they know. Most of the doctors don't even be knowing because you gotta remember, you go to their school to learn what they say medicine is. You see, you learn what they already agreed upon. It ain't like you could go to medical school and be like, well, I got this idea and I want to change all the textbooks here at the medical school. They're going to say, man, sit down. Our ancestors have already said this is what it is. That's why they'll tell you that Herodotus and the other Greek boy, what's his name, that Hippolaus was made at, Hippocrates. Hippocrates is known as the father of medicine. And then you go and study and find out that he stole everything from Egypt. But you know, the internet wasn't around then. So a person could get on that caravan to Egypt, learn something, come back to their land, like, hey. You see what I'm saying? You have people like Plato who went there, got some education, and he came back, Nostradamus too. And he came back because he learned how the stars work in Egypt, and then went back to his land and said, hey, I can tell y'all what's gonna happen this week. And they like, no, you can't. But he had the knowledge. He said, yeah, man, it's gonna rain all week. And when it rained, Hippocrates said it was gonna rain. And they bowed down. Oh. And that's what all of them did. Euclid did it too. That's why they named the school after him. That's why they named the street after him. Whoever stole the best, they named something after him. You know, they named a street, a school, a town. You know, Florida named after Queen Florence. Virginia named after the Virgin Queen. You see, this is what they do. They not about the front about their history. They gonna stamp it. And if you don't know no better, then you just gonna fall right in play. So we had this spiritual technology. And so when we deal with this arm fist, and the fist is also symbolic of the kundalini, of the spinal energy, of the root chakra at the bottom. And it's tight. But when you start to do what you should do for your health in your blood, it starts to uncoil. It starts to get loose. And that energy starts to rise from the base of the spine up to the ajna, or the crown chakra, or the third eye chakra, which then gives you enlightenment. The spiritual technology consisted of yoga, which the original name is Maui, M-A-U-I, which means to fix, concentrate, or to ponder on. Now we look at the word meditation. It comes from a Greek word called meditatum. And guess what meditatum means? To affix on, to think, to ponder. Yoga, the word yoga, Y-O, means yoke. Ga means in. Yoga means to link in or link back together. Sounds like the same definition of religion, don't it? Because it was. Only in the European culture do they separate church from state. Because they know there's going to be some funny business going in on both sides. Separating church from state. In our ancient cultures, and when I say ancient cultures, when I say original people, I'm talking about everybody who's melanated. So I'm talking about the brothers and sisters in India. I'm talking about the brothers and sisters in Mesoamerica. I'm talking about all of these individuals. All of us are one family. All of the melanated people are one family. Even for those that don't want to claim it, we one family. Why do you think most black people always be, well, a lot of black people always be talking about, I got Indian in my family. She must have Indian in her family because she got that good hair. No, the Indians got you and them. You see what I'm saying? Because you could take the substance or the color black and make every color in the whole spectrum. You can't do it the other way around. You see what I'm saying? But things get cut. It's just like if I take some coffee, sit it right here, and I add some cream to it, and keep adding stuff to it, it gets to the point it's cappuccino, frappuccino, cold coffee, iced coffee. But you forget, macchiato, and something about macchiato. It comes from Ethiopia. But guess why? Because when the Italians went to invade Ethiopia, and when they were stationed there, the Ethiopian coffee was too strong for them. So they cut it with milk, and they renamed it macchiato. And for those, I like macchiato. The Ethiopian restaurants make excellent macchiato. But that's just a little history piece. That's where that comes from, that word, macchiato, from the Italians invading into Ethiopia. Back to this spiritual technology, though. Yoga means to yoke in or yoke together or to interweave, integrate the mind, the body, and the spirit. Meditation, which is called ma'i, means to fix attention to ponder upon. Okay? And the other piece to this spiritual technology was the philosophy of ma'at. The philosophy of ma'at was based on 42 precepts or 42 principles, which everybody had hoped or wanted to aspire to one day. But for those that got a packet, the 42 precepts is in there,
it's a broke down version. You know, I condensed it and made it pretty much to where it could be understood in our own common language. Okay? Those 42 precepts in the philosophy of Ma'at was actually the forerunner to all religious texts. It's a papyrus called the Papyrus of Ani. And if you go and research and look up this papyrus, you're going to see every story that's in every religious book, but it has all the original characters in it. You see, just like when we read the story of Yahshua the Christ. Now, a couple 100,000 years before he was even known, in the Eastern Asian, or what they call the Indian scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, there's a story about a young man named Arjuna. Arjuna, born from immaculate conception, virgin mother, the whole nine. But this story existed hundreds of thousands of years before there was a Bible. Now we go back further and we talk about the first Holy Trinity, Asar, Aset, Heru, who the Greeks renamed Osiris, Isis, and Horus. In fact, from the word Heru, we get the word hero. From the name, the Greek name Horus, we get the word hour, H-O-U-R. We also get the word horoscope, because it was Horus's scope. It was talking about the inner vision. That's why they depict this with the head of a hawk. We got to understand something here, family, is that it had been proven by the fathers of Western psychology, Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. It's not Jung, y'all see it, it's J-U-N-G, but it's pronounced Jung. And they said that those people who are highly melanated have a strong proclivity towards the right hemisphere of the brain. Everybody know we got two hemispheres to our brain. We got the left, we got the right. The right hemisphere of the brain deals with creativity, rhythm, congregation, arts, things of that nature. It deals with vision, sight. Because what do we say in the hood? Oh, you have to show me. Money on the wood make the bank go good. Bet go good. Money out of sight. So it's in our culture that we visual people. Because we have a strong proclivity towards the right hemisphere of the brain. But we live in a society structured by people who have a proclivity to the left hemisphere of the brain. Argument. Because it's like you can have a Ford F-150 and you can have a Chevette. You can't do what you can do with a F-150 with a Chevette, and vice versa. But that don't mean I'm car racist or automobile racist. I'm just saying that these two things were made in different ways to where they have two different or multiple functions that's different from each other. Okay? And so when we deal with the hemispheres of the brain and how it all comes together, right? The left side of the brain deals with syllogistic logic. What is syllogistic logic? Syllogistic logic is, say, there was some water right here on the floor, right? Some water spilled on the floor. And you come along and you say, that water got on that floor from one of them water bottles. And I said, no, that ain't how it got there. And there's a lot of possibilities. It could have been a leak in the roof. Somebody over here could have spilled something. But syllogistic logic rules all that out. Said, no, based on what I seen, right, there was water right here and there was water bottles right there. That's where the water came from. Syllogistic logic deals with separatism. The left hemisphere of the brain deals with segregation. Right now, your right hemisphere of your brain is taking everything in holistically. Your left hemisphere is breaking it down so you can understand what I'm saying. Okay? The European race have a strong proclivity towards the left hemisphere of the brain. And you can tell. They separate everything. They categorize everything. They made apartheid in South Africa. And they came to America, two branches of white people that never met, and over in America they made segregation, which means to separate. When you go into the prison system, first thing they do is separate, break you up. That's what they will do with it. If they trying to investigate for a crime, they will get all y'all in there and put y'all in separate rooms. Because they know a proclivity towards the right hemisphere of the brain is our strong suit. And so that's what they gear things against. So we talk about spiritual technology. We talk about yoga. We talk about meditation. We talk about Ma'at philosophy. All of these things are the things that enabled our ancestors to be as great as they were. But if we don't know this, we can't duplicate the greatness because we don't have a blueprint for it, or a black print rather. We need a black print. The people that run this country right now, in the other places that's in power, all over the world, who are European, they follow the blueprint of their Greco-Roman ancestors. And they don't go away from that, no matter what. That's why you got this situation with Kyrie Irving and Kanye West. Because those Europeans know that they are converts of the Judaic faith. But see, they're doing what we should be doing or should have done. Because what they're saying is, hey, this is the narrative we painted for our people, and anybody tell a different narrative, we done already planned on getting geared up to shut you down. Because what they won't talk about, Hitler killed black people too. And the handicapped, and the mentally challenged. But you don't see them giving no light to that. Study it. Go look it up. Google it. And why did Hitler feel that he wanted to do that? When I was in prison, I had the pleasure of becoming friends with some white supremacists, with some Aryan brothers. And they respected me because I knew my culture and what I stood on. And I had the dope. Just keeping it real. And I seen one of them with a book one day called Mein Kampf. M-E-I-N-K-E-M-P-F. It's Hitler's diary. It's the Bible of all white supremacists.
What is it?
Mein Kampf. And when you read it though, Hitler was on to some stuff. Hitler, based on his teachings, believed that there was a magnanimous celestial being coming to the earth to free his people. Sound familiar? And he said that communicating with this being told him he needed to clear the earth of all the undesirables, of all the people that was pagan or wasn't believers. They don't want to say this man was on a religious thing, because then people might look at him different. You see, man, when the lion writes the history, you'll never look at the gazelle as the prey. So, as I conclude this, the origin, we use the word original, is two words, origin and all. The original is the origin of all. And so let's not just stop there.
up, y'all. So I'm gonna speak a little quiet. We stepped off from what you guys have been seeing, what you've been a part of. Brother Sincere teach. You see the passion. You see he's a real teacher. He is a man about his craft, knowledge, wisdom. We got a lot more that we're gonna cover with him in the future. Also, we want, because we started a little late. That's okay. You know how we do on Fridays. It's my Friday. We also are in a very beautiful gallery. It's called Kings and Queens Gallery, Art Gallery. You guys got to get down here. It's 1385 East 34th Street. We're also going to be talking to Queen Gwen. Her name's Gwen. She's been doing arts her whole life, and we're going to have her on the show and in the studio soon. So, welcome to the BBW Show. We're wrapping it up now, and we'll be back. We're gonna. How do I say this? We're gonna recap all this. We had a lot of wealth of information. Y'all just don't even realize what we're a part of right now. But I want to make sure that their mission is that we want to go ahead and outskirt. They want to put this to our community for real. This is a real thing. I told y'all, we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. But we also here to gain knowledge, wisdom, love, spread, good energy, vibes, peace. That's what it's about on Welcome to the BBW Show. No Static Radio, y'all. It's Friday night. Thank y'all for joining in, tuning in to the next show. I say bye. We're going to do it bigger, better, beautiful, badder every time. Every time.